So like I was saying, I was such a horrible drunk version of myself that my wife said, "Look, I'm not going to have the kids sit here and watch you self-destruct. So I'm going to move them back to my hometown." And so that's what happened. And during that time, I was still just going more and more downhill. I was on an entire box of I don't know what medication, to the point where I was a damn zombie. I was useless. I was absolutely useless. The seizures were still happening. And it got to the point where my wife's like, "I don't know if we can be together because you are not who I married." I was lucky enough to get a gig working for a company, but I had to move to a different state. And so I took the job. And I spent the next 2 years alone. I would spend 2 weeks by myself and 2 weeks back with the kids and wife. And those weeks by myself, I wouldn't talk. Like I remember I could count the words I would say in a day, and sometimes it'd be as low as like 10 words that I would say out loud and it'd be just to myself. And so the drinking kept going on. And then finally to the point I was like, this is not me. This is not who I want to be. And I just felt God at that moment. It's like, "Look, you're at the bottom. Let's climb back up now. Take my hand. We'll climb back up." And so that's what happened. And so that's why I started doing these videos on TikTok. I felt that if I was willing enough to be vulnerable enough to say this out loud, that there would be people out there who see this and would have the same courage to say that to a friend or a family member, so that we wouldn't lose them too. Because I was ready. I was going to drink myself to death, or I was going to take pills and not wake up. Those were two options that were realistic and, in my mind, justified endings for me. But I didn't do it. See, I fought back. I fought through that forest by myself. And the whole reason, like I said, my vulnerability is because I don't want you to go through that fight alone either. I don't want you to claw through that forest. I want you to use the path that I just made so it's an easier time out. And my hand will be there. And we will be there. And we will all see tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tonight for my next day of rucking.